Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling, and we are continuing our TNA playthrough. I am BrendenPlayz. It's great to have you back for another episode here as we continue on and get ready for our upcoming Sacrifice pay-per-view. We had Lockdown a couple of episodes ago. Now moving along to Sacrifice, of course, the Super X Cup will be one of the featured matches on that event. And we'll take a quick look at the Super X Cup in a moment's time. And we've got some matches, of course, planned for today's show as well regarding the Super X Cup. But we'll get you some results for the last few recent shows. So, Lockdown, we had that show a few episodes back, 88 rated. On that night, Muhammad Hassan beat Jeff Hardy to retain the TNA Championship. Other matches included Low Key beating Paul London, Samoa Joe beating Rhino, the Lethal Lockdown match. AJ Styles, Goldberg, Sting, and Fallen Angel beat Test, Jeff Jarrett, and Kevin Thorne and Abyss in that 4-on-4 matchup there. So, as well as we had Impact on our last episode. We saw America's Most Wanted. They beat Team 3D in the main event, and they are now basically the #1 contenders for the tag title. Samoa Joe beat Cesaro, Alyssa Flash beat Shelly Martinez, Bobby Roode beat Rikishi, Chavo beat Austin Aries. That was the first round of the Super X Cup matchup there. Explosion, 75 rated, Low Key beat Paul London, Molly Holly beat Sarah Del Rey, Monty Brown beat Jay Lethal. Now, we went ahead and did one more episode of Impact off video, and I'll show you the results for that now. So, 84 rated. It was main evented by Jeff Hardy and A-Train, which was an 89 rated matchup. Jeff Hardy beat A-Train. We gave Jeff Hardy the big win just to get him some more momentum building, another big win under his belt to warrant him a rematch against Hassan. Homicide beat Frankie Kazarian, a part of the Super X Cup, so Homicide advances to the next round. Paul London beat Alex Skipper as well, that was not a part of the Super X Cup. Molly Holly beat Sarah Del Rey again. I just went ahead and did one more match. I just wanted to get some women on the card, and I figured let's just go ahead and do one more, and then we'll close out that rivalry, and we did. And Rhino also beat Monty Brown. Again, this is part of the upcoming Global Championship matchup. I think we're going to do a Battle Royal or something like that. A 10-man match to determine the next contender. And we'll probably do that match at Sacrifice, I think. So, we gave Rhino and Monty Brown that matchup there just to advance that storyline going on there. Abyss and Goldberg also went face-to-face to start the show off with as well. And we gave Chris Sabin a match in the pre-show against Cody Rhodes. Now, the reason why I did this is because Cody Rhodes has been telling me that he's ready to move up to the main roster. Personally, I didn't believe it. I thought, no way, Cody Rhodes, not quite there yet. He's still a rookie. But Cody Rhodes has 40 popularity, and he had a 58 rated match. Now, you're probably thinking 58, it's not that great. But considering his popularity, where he's at, 58 is a pretty damn good performance. So, Cody Rhodes, I'm not going to bring him up yet, but in that next batch of guys that we do bring up, he might be one of those that do get the call up, because that was not a bad performance from him. Oh yeah, and also you had Explosion as well. Low Key beat Paul London. That was a part of the Super X Cup. Tanahashi beat Petey Williams, just something for both guys to do. Kevin Thorne beat Kenta as well, kickstarting that Dutch Dynasty Insane Asylum feud. We're starting that one up again after putting it on hold for Lockdown. And we also had 5 other women fight it out as well. So, quick look now at the Super X Cup. And as you can see here, Chavo Guerrero's advanced to the next round. He beat Austin Aries. And Paul London was beaten by Low Key. So that'll mean it'll be Chavo versus Low Key in the semi-final matchup. Homicide beat Frankie Kazarian, so he's advanced, and now we're just waiting for the winner between AJ Styles and Chris Sabin. And the winner of that matchup will go to the semi-finals to take on Homicide. So, a couple more matches to go, and we can close out the cup. But it's certainly getting interesting. We'll have that Styles and Sabin match this episode. Other few little pieces of news. Kenny Omega. Well, apparently we forgot to re-sign him to another deal. I don't know if I forgot to do it or I decided to let him go and go work elsewhere. I think it was more so I'll let him go and work elsewhere. You know, look, Kenny Omega's got some decent stats now. He's certainly proved big time. and I think he can continue to improve, but you know, maybe he'll get more of an opportunity somewhere else, because I have no plans for him at the moment. But what happened is that Kenny Omega, well, the day after we let him go, he put on some weight, so he's now moved up to a lightweight, so he's out of shape, a light heavyweight. So yeah, Kenny Omega putting on a bit of weight. He's letting himself go and piling on some serious extra pounds. That is some serious extra pounds for Kenny Omega. So some issues there for Kenny since getting fired. He's not reacting very well. Vegeta, his contract, his developmental contract is up. And now the question is, do we re-sign him? Now, Vegeta, look, we brought him in as that good worker to work with some of our younger guys, to come along and work with our young talent. When looking at his matches and what he's been able to produce, averaging 67, which is pretty decent considering where he's at. He's in developmental with a lot of guys who aren't capable of producing big matches, so he's certainly been an asset in that regard. But popularity-wise, not so much. He's pretty good in our major markets of Southeast. Also, Southwest is good as well. But obviously, he's a big star in Japan. But for whatever reason, was let go from... where was he working? He was working in Noah and All Japan. For some various Japanese promotions. So he's let go. So we picked him up for a little bit of time to give him something to do and also help out down in developmental. Now, he is a freelancer, which I did not notice until then. So he is a freelancer, so most likely he probably won't want to hang around, but actually we can offer him a deal. Yeah, we could offer him a deal if we wanted to. But I feel like we might let him go. I think we might just let him go, probably back to Japan and let him, you know, succeed there, because he's a huge star. We might as well let Japan capitalize on that. But yeah, not a bad guy to bring in for a little bit of time, work with some of our young talent. He had some various matches. Didn't have a hell of a lot of matches, to be fair to him. Okay, you know, he had a couple more, not a lot more as well before the new year. So yeah, I mean, he definitely had a good 2006, averaging 85. So I think for his sake, he'd be better off going back to Japan. And I'm not going to I'm not going to keep him here when we don't really need him, when he can do a lot better elsewhere. So he was a good little servant for a little bit of time, but I think it's time to let him go back and be that star that he should be. But yeah, I guess not too bad from him. You know, came in, did what we needed him to do, and he can move on. Paul Burchill, we had a chance to sign him, but of course I didn't really want to. But I looked at Paul Burchill and I was actually quite astonished that his popularity is 63. It's pretty good. He's actually an upper mid-carder in WWE and has been for a long time. His popularity's actually gone down a little bit, so it was 64 at one point. His stats are actually pretty good as well, so he actually would be a pretty good worker. And his match history is quite solid, 75 and 77 in the last year and a bit. So yeah, not a bad from WWE to give him a bit more of a push, but not for me. I don't really want him. Gerald Briscoe, he's staying with WWE as well, no interest there. Now, as well as Cody Rhodes, ODB also wants to get the big call up. She thinks she's ready to move up to the main roster. And for me personally, I'm all for it, because her popularity is already 53. So you bring her up, you've already got someone with good popularity right from the get-go, and can be a major player in our women's division, knockouts division rather, right away. But I'm worried about her skills. Are they up to scratch? Looking at it, yeah, her hardcore's certainly gone up a lot. Her brawling slightly going up. Chain wrestling, not a lot. Mat wrestling, a little bit. Submissions, a fair bit. Aerial's gone up quite a lot, actually. I don't know if she's going to fly off the top rope or anything like that, but it's gone up. Basics improved. Psychology has gone through the roof, which is very, very positive. That's exactly what you want. 45 psychology up to 77. That is a drastic improvement. Her selling's gone up big time. Her power, I think her power should be a lot better than 52, to be honest, but it's not. Mic skills have improved as well, and her acting. So there's a lot of positive signs about ODB. She's certainly improved quite a lot, more than I expected. So she might nearly be ready. If she thinks she's ready, I think she might nearly be. So what we might do this episode is give her a tryout match in a way, put her on a dark match and see how she goes. If she performs well, you know, in the mid-50s, maybe 60, something like that, something similar to her popularity, I think she's worth a shot. And the other thing was Goldberg's contract was up for grabs, but we've already re-signed him. I gave him a 6-month extension. Now, 6 months, basically I did that, so we've got him until pretty much the end of the year, so we've got him to at least Bound for Glory, and then we can reassess then. Now, Goldberg hasn't been that phenomenal, let's be honest. His average match is 81, which is pretty good. He's only had 5 matches. And to only get an 80 rated match when you go one-on-one with Abyss, can only barely scrap an 80 against A-Train and Jeff Jarrett. That's concerning. Those are some of our best workers in the company. We've only really given him the best that we have, and he's only really scraping at 80s. If he was to work with a Sting, or maybe even Muhammad Hassan, some of our guys that we're not, sometimes may not deliver, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm not saying, I think Muhammad Hassan would deliver, but you know, let's say, you know, Goldberg and Lashley, for example, that might only be a 60, 70 rated match. I'm not sure. Goldberg's not that reliable in those big match situations. Also, doesn't have the ability to put on a long match. And you can see here his stats are diminishing. 71 down to 67. You know, all of his stats are going down, so he's actually on the decline, which is not positive at all. We want him to stay consistent, but the only thing he's really improving in is his microphone ability, up to 71, which is good news for that, but you'd rather his ring work stay solid where it's at, not go down. So it's not positive. I think the original plan for Goldberg was only to probably be a year deal. It has already been a year, which blows my mind. He's had 5 matches in a year, which is not good. Realistically, the first few months we didn't use him at all. We kept him off TV until Bound for Glory, and he's missed a couple of months he missed a couple of months, you know, I guess, but yeah, it's already been a long period of time for Goldberg, so it maybe not be a year, maybe, was it a year? Maybe 9 months, but we've given him another 6. We'll assess him by the time Bound for Glory comes around, but I don't think Goldberg will necessarily be winning from now on. I think it might be time to have Goldberg take that loss. He is 40. Take that loss and maybe take a few more as well. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I think Goldberg, yes, he's got superb popularity, but he's starting to decline, and decline pretty rapidly. It's not, you know, happening very, very slowly. It's really starting to happen in the last few months. So by the time 6 months comes around, he could really go in a rapid decline, which is obviously not ideal at all. You don't want that to happen. And you can see here, time decline. It may be fairly early days, but signs are beginning to show that 40-year-old Goldberg is on the decline. It'll probably be a few more years before the effects become noticeable, but his prime clearly ended a few years ago. I think it's already starting to become noticeable now. I mean, it's not too much. I mean, you still can put on an 80 rated match with the right opponent, but you'd think for someone with 88 popularity, they could probably hit 90. And a 90 rated match against Abyss, who has these stats outstanding. So yeah, it's not ideal. I'm not sure what we can do about it, but we're just gonna keep trying to utilize him in the right possible way. But yeah, it's obviously not ideal, like I said. But we might continue on now and move on to our Impact show with our big Super X Cup matchup with AJ and Chris Sabin. That should be a good one. And also continue to build on. We didn't do anything with the tag team feud last week, so this week we might focus on that a little bit more. And also bring up ODB for a match. Now, who can we have ODB take on? I guess we can say ODB, she is a babyface, so we can take a look at some of our women. Let's give her a good woman, a good knockout to really showcase her skills. And by the way, we do have Lita. She is now available to use. We probably won't debut her yet. Maybe at the pay-per-view we'll save it for then. But we might give her Beth Phoenix, one of our better women, to showcase what she can do. So we'll give that a go. We'll see how ODB fares. If she has a good match, maybe we'll bring her up, because we could use another woman with some popularity, absolutely. But with that being said, we'll show you the rest of the results from the Impact show in a moment's time. So the results, ODB versus Beth Phoenix. ODB 52 rated. Beth Phoenix 62, 63 overall. Okay, so 52. That's not too bad. Like we said, around that, you know, around her popularity, which I think was what, 53, 54, 52, around about that. So she's pretty much there. Now, you wouldn't mind her being a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. 52 is not bad. It's not bad. Would it be better if, you know, could it be better? Absolutely. Would it be nice if it was better? Yes, but 52 is not bad. So if we do call her up, she won't embarrass herself. Let's just say that. She'll be okay. Starts the show off. We had AJ Styles versus Chris Sabin one-on-one. AJ and Chris Sabin had pretty good chemistry. Lifted the matchup. 90 for AJ and 87 for Chris Sabin, yet 83. And it was because of the low storyline hit for the Super X Cup. Okay. So, basically, some of the other previous matches were not as good. So it's kind of dragged the storyline down a little bit, unfortunately. That could have been a really good match. That could have been around that 90 mark. AJ Styles promo. He cut one on Alex Shelley, 86. So hopefully that'll lift up the storyline here a little bit. Team 3D versus the Insane Asylum, 79. Brother Devon, 100. Brother Ray, 95. Tess, 72, 66 for Kevin Thorne. And we had Dutch Mantel on commentary scouting out the Insane Asylum to advance that storyline. We had Abyss and Goldberg fight it out in the ring. And Abyss went nuts on Goldberg with repeated chair shots to the head, busting him open. So Abyss just went out, you know, just went crazy. Just unleashed on Goldberg, attacked him. And we had other superstars from the locker room come out to try and break it up. So, you know, my little way of using some of our lower end guys at a big angle to maybe get a couple of popularity points if possible. We had a hype video hyping up some of the competitors for our upcoming, I think it's going to be a Battle Royal match, I would assume. Our big matchup to determine the number one contender for the global title. Chavo and Low Key are part of the Super X Cup, 81 rated for that. Chavo 68, Low Key 84. And we had Paul London come in and attempt to interfere, attempt to try and take out Low Key of this tournament, but instead he interfered. Chavo got distracted and cost him the match in the end. So it didn't quite work out too well for Paul London to advance that storyline, of course. James Storm, Chris Harris promo on Jericho Christian. We had Muhammad Hassan and Jeff Hardy. Now, I found this angle in this angle pack, and I thought, well, let's give it a go. It's something completely different. We haven't done this one before. But basically, it's you know, a vignette, a video on the screen of Muhammad Hassan and Jeff Hardy involved in a brawl at a gas station. So, around the pumps and the cars, apparently. So, Hassan got the better of Jeff Hardy, has him locked in the submission, and then the police arrive. Hassan is arrested and carted off. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to try that one. Worked out pretty well, 99 rated. You'll take that. So, I thought that angle was pretty cool. I liked it. The only thing I would have changed is probably the gas station. I would have changed it to something else. Maybe just the parking lot or something. But, yeah, whatever. Pretty cool. I liked it. Worked pretty well in the end, too. Taylor Wilde, Rebecca Knox, 69 rated. Give Rebecca a victory, and also just to give Taylor Wilde a chance to step up. We haven't had that matchup before. Worked out pretty well. Gal Kim promo as well. It's pretty good as always. Main event, Jericho and James Storm. And Jericho got the victory over James Storm. Chris Jericho sustained a bar fight injury. Well, speaking of, you know, out of the ring fights, James Storm was getting a bit tired towards the end. So we did make it a car crash match because both guys got very good brawling skills. So I figured that might help. I think it probably did. Jericho 96, James Storm 76. But 88 overall. Couldn't quite crack the 90 mark, but that's okay. 88 still pretty solid for a singles match. And advances that tag team feud that we got going on. Let's hope this bar fight injury isn't severe. I don't think it will be. But somehow we managed to pull off a 90 rated show. Don't ask me how. I don't know. But we did it. A couple of good angles, I guess. Got us over the mark. A decent main event. But we didn't have any other great matches on the show. But hey, I'm not complaining. We'll take a 90 any day of the week. If you get a 90 guaranteed, you'll take it. So I'm happy with that one. Now let's check this injury because this could be huge. Jericho is out for 2 days. Thank goodness. I was going to say a bar fight injury. You know, you might have a black eye or a cut on your face or something like that. You should be able to shake that off pretty quickly. And Jericho will. Thank goodness. Our rating, 7.89. Pretty good. Actually, pretty damn good. Get around that 8 mark, we'll be starting to break our own record. Dutch Mantel, well, his contract was up. We gave him a 6-month extension. Did that, I think, because he's still got some value. He's doing pretty well. Obviously, we're not giving Kenta and Marufuji the biggest push in the world right now, and I would like to give them better, do more with them, but it's just a matter of time and other guys ahead of them right now. But we'll do what we can when we can, and keeping Dutch Mantel with them, I think, is the best move for them. But you know, check some of these guys are involved in this, on that Abyss and Goldberg angle. And sometimes, you know, you can put these guys in an angle like this, and it will pay off a little bit. It'll give them that little bit of a bump up. Not all the time, but sometimes you get a little bit lucky, and they might even gain a few points out of it. So, if you've got 2 big names, put your lower end guys with them when you can. At times, it will help. Absolutely will help. It's the same thing, you know, like sharing the ring, for example, for The Undertaker would be, you know, a big thing for anybody. And it's the same thing here. You've got Goldberg and Abyss, 2 of your biggest names in the company. You know, have them share the ring with some of your lower end guys. It's only going to pay off. It's only going to help. You can't really lose. You know, it doesn't drag the segment down if you do it properly, and it will only help out your talent in the end. So it's a bit of a win-win situation. So definitely check that out if you ever play this game yourself. Those types of angles are the best. They're not rated angles for your lower end guys, and just focus on the main crop of talent. So I'm just having a quick look at some of the changes, and if anyone is kind of on the improve, just from some of the matches we've been having recently, and you know, looking at America's Most Wanted, obviously gearing them up for the big match against Jericho and Christian. Probably going to have America's Most Wanted win the tag titles, and around about that mid-70 mark at the moment. Certainly James Storm is. Chris Harris a little bit higher on the food chain. So yeah, pretty good, absolutely very good, and you can't really complain too much about their positioning right now. Wouldn't mind it to be higher, around about 78, maybe 80, but if they beat Christian and Jericho, I've got no doubt their positioning probably will end up being that way. Now, we also started a new month, and within that new month we did gain some more popularity. As you can see, 78 up to 79, so we're getting close. And to compare that with WWE right now are only 84. Wow, I thought they were 88. Have they dropped down? No, they've gone up, but they haven't gone up for about a year now. So staying pretty steady. Yeah, even the tri-state region's actually gone down, so that caught my eye for a moment there. But yeah, so they're doing pretty okay, but we are certainly on the, you know, a chance to catch them eventually. We're not that far away. We are improving every single month. We're having good enough shows every month to the point where we are going to get close to them. Our importance is the issue, and this is why we won't overtake them anytime soon. Because you can see, we looked at WWE, most of their regions are green. We're still lacking in about 5 different regions. We've got 3 that are going very well, and 1 here, 72, is going pretty good. That's Southeast, which is actually our best region on paper, but hasn't quite got the importance. That Southeast region, though, is getting caught up quickly. As you can see, it was 71, 76 not long ago. Now it's 79 and 80, so it's getting caught very quickly. So we're almost at that point where we're evening out, but we are getting very, very close to overtaking the WWE. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. It may happen at the start of 2008. Now, what kind of ending point do we have for this series? Once we overtake WWE, do we end it there? I mean, who would have thought TNA could overtake WWE? It is possible in TW. You could do it in 2 years, apparently, but realistically, no, it's not. But look, you know, we're having a pretty good run. We're doing some good matches, good shows. We've got some good talent. I really enjoy the roster we have right now. We've been able to make a few of our names into big stars. Obviously, Abyss has become huge. Muhammad Hassan, probably the star of the series. You know, compare him now to even a year ago, it was 79 popularity. He's now up to, you know, in the 90s. And before that, I think he started 70. So He's had a tremendous year. He's been probably our MVP. And other talents, Jeff Hardy's really come a long way. Fallen Angel, maybe he's the MVP. He continues to have good matches no matter what. He's had a huge surge in popularity just simply because of how good he is, averaging 93 this year. He's won 4, lost 7. Last year averaged 64, so it's a major difference. Working with top tier names. Here's the thing, he's only had two matches in the 80s all year. So that's pretty incredible from Fallen Angel. Obviously recently getting Chris Jericho is fantastic. Christian was the backbone of the company last year, and his popularity has remained pretty steady with a pretty solid increase at the same time. His match history, 91 this year, 86 last year. So he's having a good year. You know, he's won 23 out of his 30 matches. A-Train has also had a big rise up. Obviously not getting a lot of wins, A-Train, unfortunately. You can see he's actually won more than he's lost, but you know, he's losing quite a bit to our big names. He mainly beats the guys underneath him. AJ, big rise up as well. So what I'm trying to say is we've done well in really progressing a number of our names. I'm really happy with what we've been able to accomplish. If we do overtake WWE, fantastic, but I think we can really kind of look at the individual talents we've been able to really improve their popularity drastically and be quite proud of that, rather than the fact that we've been able to overtake WWE. Because if you consistently have good shows every single month, every single year, you're going to get there eventually. We've gotten there very quickly, as you can see. But in WWE, well, one of the issues with TW is that WWE aren't that aggressive at times in signing talent or pushing talent. They kind of just keep treading water with the guys that they've got and don't really do a lot of changes or do anything drastically. So at times they probably will never really increase. All you really have to do is overtake what they were, you know, originally, and you can see they've only really increased a couple small little points. But so just a quick little recap there of kind of what we've been able to do. And like I said, an ending point for the series. I'm thinking maybe Bound for Glory. We'll see where we're at Bound for Glory. And if we end it there, we end it there. But I think we'll be very close to overtaking WWE by that time. If not, we've already done it. So looking forward to that anyways. But we've obviously got Explosion and then another week's worth of shows. And then we have Sacrifice. So next episode, we'll show you Sacrifice. And we'll see how the pay-per-view goes, and hopefully we have another successful Super X Cup. And obviously we've got the big Jericho and America's Most Wanted match. Probably we'll do Goldberg and Abyss as well, Jeff Hardy, Muhammad Hassan. So big matches planned as well. So don't miss that one. That'll be coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in and checking out this episode of Total Extreme Wrestling. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Let's try and hit 100 likes. More likes, more episodes. I know I've been a little slack, but I'm going to get some more done for you, I promise. So 100 likes, and I'll get you some more episodes for you. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next episode.